finished mine, but my laptop died.
Who killed it? Hmm? Harris. Harris.
Yes, Mr. Joseph.
Who killed your laptop? We are giving you people time. Oh. Auntie Lillian, please move people to waiting room, oh, please. Move Liz Angel to the waiting room. When she's through, when she's done with her project, she can come in. Who else? Jessil.
Yes, Mr. Joseph. I want to share my screen now.
Jessil.
Yes, please.
You've not explained. So basically, what does the project do?
I forgot to remove the forever tag from it. That's the reason why I was repeating itself like that.
Can you go and rework? Can you go and rework and finish so that other people can have time to share? To me, no, share your screen.
Sir, should I share?
Yes. Share. To me, no, share your screen. We're waiting. We are waiting. Oh.
So I'm sharing it right now.
Hey, you're not explaining what it does. I'm not saying. So this is it. I'm not saying you should share what we did before. Okay. All I want to see the little that you've learned, all right? I want you to recreate something from it. Okay, not the project that we've worked on before. I want you to recreate something. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, that's it. Go and recreate something from what the little knowledge that you've gained these few weeks. Go and recreate something from it. So who's next? Who's next?
I'm coming. I'm almost done.
Okay, stop sharing. Stop sharing your screen. Let someone else have a chance to share. So you go back and rework, create. I want to see it tomorrow. Hmm. Who is ready to share? Jesse, you said you're still downloading Scratch on your laptop. How many times do you have to download Scratch? Huh? Come on, guys. What's going on?
Mr. Joseph.
No, this is my first time downloading it, but I'm downloading it in another of this thing. Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Joseph. I'm ready to share my screen. Mr. Joseph, can I share my screen?
Valerie, Tel Aviv, what's going on? How it's taking too long for you to share? You're waiting.
I want to share my screen.
Go ahead.
Can I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay. This is.
All these people.
I'm to be back here.
Why is it skipping? Okay, so so what did we do yesterday? Who can remember what we did yesterday?
We're making like square, then another square on it, then a space in the middle, then a square, then another square.
Okay, so yeah, we drew a rectangle, okay, and then we make it look like a pipe, and we make it move from right to our left, and then come back right to the left and come back. So who can tell me how did we make it move from the right to the left, okay, at a different height? Who can tell me the blocks that we used and what each block was responsible for doing? What block was responsible for doing what? Yeah, okay. So I know we made blocks that are like obstacles. So what I want you guys to tell me is what block was responsible for
What block was responsible for what?
move from right to the left,
What?
making it move from right to the left. Hello.
Hands.
Okay. So let me share my screen now.
Okay.
So this is my screen. Can you see?
Yes.
It's a lot different from what it was yesterday. So if I go, so what blocks was responsible for making it move from left to the right? Yeah?
It change x by 10 and the change x by -5 block. That's the motion block.
That's the motion block we're talking. Okay. So what did we say the clone block is used for?
For cloning it.
Cloning it. And what's the meaning of a clone? To make a copy
Like,
of it.
and a copy of you.
Why is there Tel Aviv, there's an echo coming in for your head?
It's not from my laptop. It's from Valerie's laptop.
Yeah, it's because you're sitting close to Valerie, so both of you will have to give yourself a distance.
Yeah, Valerie, go.
No means like a lookalike of it that have the same quality.
Who's talking? Who's talking?
Suminu, what are you saying? Saiwo.
I said a clone is like a lookalike of it that has the same.
Okay, a clone is the exact copy of something. Okay. A clone
Okay.
is
Okay.
the exact copy of something. So today I've added a background. and then I added the game over. So the only thing I've not added in my game is the score, okay, which we will do. The score will be your assignment, okay?
Okay.
Tweak my project a bit. So you can see that the parrot sprite has more blocks compared to what you have, okay? So now, start. So this was where we stopped yesterday. Hello?
Right. Yes,
So
sir.
Hi.
yeah. So now I've changed some code. Hello. Can you guys pay attention? I've changed some blocks in my code to make it look perfect. Okay.
Okay.
So if you look at your block, look at the code for the pipe. Do you have the same thing? Do we all have the same thing as what I have on my screen?
Excuse me, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah.
When I save like a Scratch project, it will tell me that I should open it in Notepad or Paint.
Okay, so you can't open it directly from your folder. You need to open Scratch because your system is not able to read Scratch, which is why it is telling you to open with Paint.
What did you say?
Now here's what I see. If you go to is it documents?
The document.
Now, if you do this, right?
If I do what?
If you click on it,
Right click on what?
if you want to open this now, it tells you to open in what?
Is it open this project? Is it open this project?
Open this project. When you right click,
I don't understand.
when you open this project, now this is what I'm saying. Because hello, your Scratch ends with a .sb3.
My Scratch?
Your Scratch ends with a .sb3.
SB3.
Yes. I'll share my screen for you so you can see.
Playing music.
Can you see this?
Yes. Yes.
So what the last three letters you see here is SB3.
SB3. Dot SB3.
Yeah, so that's the extension. That's the extension of Scratch. Now, if you want to open this, your system will not be able to read it. Okay? Your system will not be able to read it. If you do this, you can't open it anywhere. So it will only allow you to open with either as a text. Okay? So what you can do, the only way to open Scratch is to go back to your Scratch project, and I've said this before. Go to your Scratch project and then you do file and load from your computer. That's the only way. Yeah, so that's the only way you can open Scratch. Okay. So now in today's work,
load from computer.
I have removed glide. I have removed glide from the pipe block. Okay, and I do go to X. Now my X is what? 230, which is around this place here. My 230 is around this place here. Okay, so you can see here that X is 230. Okay, And then I did the same thing, pick random. So I said, okay, pick random between 80 and minus 100. Okay, so that's the height. Pick random between 80 and 100. And then I put a forever block. So what this says is, hey. So, and then I put a forever block underneath it. And I said, okay, glide for 2 seconds. So the glide for 2 seconds just make it this way. It makes it move from right to the left. Okay. And then set x to -4. Oh, your noise is distracting. Your noise is distracting. Auntie Lillian, please, can you meet the person that is talking? So, and I do, okay, set x to -450, which is like the end of the screen. So your Y position is where your current Y is. So for instance, if your Y position is here, so you are telling it when X is here, okay? When X is here, maintain the Y position, which is between -80 and -100, okay? So we did this yesterday, delete clone. So we know what delete clone does, right?
Yes, please.
Do we know what a delete clone does? So
Yes.
Is there anybody that was not in this class yesterday that is here now? If you're not in the class yesterday and you are here today, indicate. Drop a chat. If you are not in the class yesterday,
Me.
who are you?
Yes,
Me.
Chiso. You're not
my
in the class.
network was on and off.
To me, no, you're not in the class. Okay. So what we did yesterday was to create so what the project we are working on is called a Flappy Bird game. So it's a common game that you see on your Android phone. Okay, so we are trying to use Scratch to replicate the same game. Okay, so what we did was we created this costume here, these two things that you see here. Okay, and the way you do it is by using this block. So once you come here, the first thing is you come to where you choose your sprite from, and you see a paint icon that looks like a brush. So you click on it. Once you click on paint, it takes you here. Okay. Once it takes you here, you can select the rectangle box. Select the rectangle. Once you click on the rectangle, come here and select the color you want. So if I drag this here, do this, make it darker. Okay, and I do this. So that's how to draw a rectangle. Then I can use this to adjust it. Okay, so can you see? And then I come here and I draw another one. Drag it. Make sure it's centralized. Come here and then reduce the sizes. Okay, use the select tool to select it, group them together so I can adjust the shape. Okay, group them together, make it to the top. So that is how to draw that's how to draw the pipe that we are going to use for our project. Now, so for the sake of people that were not in the class, so I'm just going through this again so that you understand what we are trying to achieve and what we did, so you don't feel left alone. So the first thing we want to do is we need the green flag, okay, so that whenever we start our game, it can always, whenever we click the green flag, our game will start. So now, because we want this to always start at the end here, whenever the green flag is clicked, I will just drag it down, 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 down to 307. So I can come to motion. Remember, motion is anything that has to do with what? Movement. And I do this. Now, take notes. If I drag my sprite here, whenever I click the green flag, what happened? It goes back to the position I gave it to. That's because I've given it a command here to always go to that position. Okay? Now, the next thing is, how do we make our sprite to come out this way? Okay? So what we want to do is we need to create a clone of this, because if we just do one, once it gets here, hide, and then come back and start, that will be too tedious. It won't make the game flow well. So we need to create like a multiple clone of this. So we come to the forever block. When you come to the forever block, the next thing is what? We want to create a clone. And what did I say a clone is? To create an exact copy of something. So we look for create a clone. Create a clone of myself, okay? Create a clone of myself. Now, we do this. You won't see the clone because, okay, it has created a clone. Can you see? It has created 3 clones, about 4. Okay. Can you see? Multiple clones have been created. So this has created multiple clones. If I drag it, because I've clicked the green flag, it will keep creating multiple clones until it fills our screens. So now what I want to do, the next thing is, since we've created a clone, we need to give it like a time, like a control. Okay, I want you to create a clone every 1 minute or every 2 seconds. So you come here and then you add the wait 1 second. So you can also increase this to maybe like 2. Okay, just do 2. And when you stop and start, can you see? It's creating a clone, or it is creating a clone, multiple clones. Can you see multiple clones? It's still creating clones. Okay, so now the next thing is, so since we've successfully created our clone, the next thing is we want to make this move, but we want to see 1 clone at a time. We don't want to see multiple clones on the screen. We want to see 1 clone at a time. So I'll come here. Now, before we do that, the first thing is to make sure that whenever the green flag is clicked, we want the main. Now, remember that we've created a clone, but we still have this main sprite, the main sprite, so that we created. The original sprite is still there. So we need to look for a way to hide this guy. So if we stop and click, if we stop and click, you can see that the sprite is not there again. Eh? Yes. The reason why the sprite is not there is because we've hidden it. So we need to go back to our control block and say when this clone starts, which is, since you've created a clone, you want to know when the clone starts, what should happen? Show now. You want it to show, to be visible, because it is hidden. So click and do this. Can you see? The clone is shown already. It's shown now. Huh? The clone is shown. So the next thing is we want it to go to, if it shows, go to the position of this, which is where the original clone is starting. The original is starting from 307, which is the end, the extreme of X. Okay? Is there anything that is confusing? If you don't understand, you call my attention. So now that you've done this, the next thing is, because this is, if we leave it this way, it's just going to keep coming straight this way. And it doesn't add challenges like that. So what we want to do is we want to make it difficult for the parrot to navigate its way around these pipes. Okay, because the parrot can only go in between the two pipes. But what we want to do is whenever we start, we want it to, like, maybe sometimes it will change the height. So it can be like this, it can be like this, it can be like this. Sorry. It can be like this, it can be like this. Okay, we want it to be coming out.
Mr. Joseph, can you click sprite 1?
Can I what?
Click sprite 1.
Can I quit sprite 1?
Yes.
Why should I click sprite 1?
Close it.
Can I close it?
Hmm?
Can I close it?
I don't understand what you're saying.
What is your question?
My question is that I want to see the code in sprite 1.
You want to see the code for the sprite 1?
Yes.
So just pay attention. This is the same thing that I'm doing here. So now, since we have this, we want the Y position. Remember, the Y is what? Up and down. The Y is up and down movement. So we come here and then we pick random position. So we want the position of the Y to keep changing. So we say 80 is what? 80 is up. And we do another one, minus. You can say minus 80 or minus whatever value which is down. So we want to pick random between up, okay, up and down, okay. So at every point, it should always come from either up or down, up or down. Now the next thing is to do a forever block. Now inside the forever block, we want to bring out the glide. So we want to make it glide 1 second to the Y position. So we can do minus 10. So we stop this and start. So the next thing is we want to, so all the clones are just going to converge at a point. But what we want to do is to make it delete. To delete it, you need to delete this clone so that you can only see one clone at a time. Now, if you notice, you'll see that the heights are different. Okay, the heights are different. Okay, so for those of you that were not around yesterday, so you can see, you can follow up. Okay, this was just a quick recap of what we did yesterday. Okay, so now let's go back to our. So now, next thing, have you done? If you've done your So if you have your parrot, let's see. So now the parrot, you already know how. Can you make your parrot flap up and down? Can you do that? Hello, can we do that?
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so how many people can make their parrots flat and flap up and down? Hello? If you can make your parrot flap up and down, put it in the chat so that we can move on. It's past time, so let's do some things. How many people can make their parrots flap up and down? If your parrot can flap, raise your hand. If you can't flap this way and go down, raise your hand. Quickly, people, let's quickly. It's just one person that indicated. Where are the rest? Taiwo, Harris, Testimony, Joseph, Tel Aviv, Valerie. Can you all make your parrots? Okay, Taiwo said yes. Harris Adebayo, can you make your parrots flap up and down? Tel Aviv, Valerie, Joseph, Testimony, can you make your parrots flap?
Okay.
Okay, Taiwo said, Harry said yes. Jasil said yes. Joseph, Valerie, can you make your parrots flap?
No.
Who said no? Tel Aviv, you can't make your parrots flap.
I didn't say no.
Who said he can't? Or
I don't know.
okay, so since all of you can make your parrots flap, let's move on. So now, in my parrots block, what I did differently from what you have is here. Okay?
Okay.
What I did differently is here. So let me break the code down for you guys to understand. So the first thing I did, we know where if then block is, right?
We know why.
In this block, if then, you know where it is. Eh?
Yes.
Yes.
Is here under control. If then you bring it out and then you put it under, under. Don't put it inside. It's under the first if else block. You snap it under. Okay.
Okay.
Remember, I said that the if then is a conditional statement. You are saying if this happened, do this. Okay. So
Okay.
the condition is touching sprite 1. And what is where is sprite 1? Sprite 1 is the pipe here. The pipe here is sprite 1. So let's go back. So you are telling the parrot, you are giving the parrot a command. If you touch sprite 1. So the idea is parrot is not supposed to touch this pipe. Okay. The parrot is not meant to touch this pipe. It's only meant to go in between the pipe. So you are telling it is, what you are telling it is, if you touch sprite 1, what should happen? You want it to broadcast game over. Okay, we want you to say game over. So now let's watch. Can you see? So it says game over. And then what else should happen? If touching sprite 1, we want it to come down. We want it to come down. X position is the position of, to maintain the X position, but we want the position of the Y to change. And Y is going to change by what? Minus 180. So this X position, the X position, you know where to get the glide. Now the glide is under motion. Now to get the X position, you are telling it the position of the X. So you just drag it out and then you put it inside the X, inside where you have the up. Okay. And then you change this to minus 180 or minus something. Okay. So that the minus 180 will allow it to drop down. Okay. To drop down. Remember, the minus is what? Negative. So if the sprite, if the bird was here, if the parrot was here, once it touches the sprite, it's going to drop, which means the bird is falling. It's falling, falling, falling. Okay. So once it's fall, you can now come to sound. You can come to sound and look for a bird sound. So you use the cricket sound.
Yes, let's use the cricket.
So we go back to sound. And you see it, and then you just put it here. Watch. So if it touches that, it's going to make the cricket sound. Well, the idea is if it touches the pipe, you're supposed to end the game. Okay? You're supposed to end the game. So you come here. Now, before you end the game, you need to understand what is called a broadcast. Now, who can tell me what's the meaning of a broadcast? What does it mean to broadcast something? Hello? Hello? Are you here? What does it mean to broadcast something?
Hi.
Yeah, what's the meaning of broadcast?
Like a news something. News.
So this is spelling broadcast. What does it mean?
Broadcast is another word for doing like news.
For doing what?
Something like news.
Something like news, to send a message out. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what broadcast is. It means to send a message out. Okay. So
Okay.
now use a broadcast if we want to send a message to another sprite in the game. So now here, Here we are telling the parrot, once it touches the pipe, we want to broadcast a message. And to do that, you come down. Now you see broadcast. So once you see broadcast, you click on this, drag it out. So let me return this. Drag it out, you click it, see new message. You can now type your message. Your message what uh, parrot, parrot, parrot falling, and you click OK. Now you bring that in here, okay? And then you can now say stop. Now, once you get here, the next thing is because you want to send a message to this other sprite and say, okay, oh, something has happened. So this sprite, so I've already done mine here, but let me take it out. So now you come to when I received this, you drag it out. When I receive what? When I receive parrot falling, that's the message you are sending to this other sprite. What should happen? And what you want to happen is come to control. You want to stop the script. Okay, you bring the stop script and then you do what? Stop other scripts in sprites. So this is it. And then you go back to your parrot and you do stop this script. Now let's try this. You can see that. Okay. Hello. So that is how to create. So now, we're going to add a score by tomorrow. So I want you to go through this code, go through what you have here, make sure you understand what we did today. If you have any question, you ask. So okay, so time for question before we give a recap. Any question?
Excuse me, Mr. Joseph. I'm not yet done copying. Please, can I finish copying?
Okay, sure. Are you still copying?
Yes, I am.
So do we have any question? Is there anything that you did not understand?
Excuse Miss Lilia, please can you stop muting me?
Are we done?
No. Something.
Excuse me, Mr. Joseph, please can you go to script 1?
Are you done? Hmm?
Excuse me, Mr. Joseph, please can you go to script 1 beside to the sprite 1? I made mistakes too. Please can you go to sprite 1?
Mr. Joseph, don't worry, you can stop sharing your screen.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Not
Okay, so Jesse
Bye.
will fix your problem. Okay?
Bye, everyone.